Greg Larnerd, Wells, Guthrie here from ESPN Chattanooga. Wells, it is Super Bowl time. Excited about it. We've got the Bengals. We've got the Rams on both the AFC and the NFC side. We've got some prop bets for you. I'm going to set you up first because you've got 4 of them. I've only got 2. We're trying to make you some money here. Wells, hit us up first. What do you got?
Yeah, first off, prop bets I think are one of the best things about the Super Bowl. They're just off the cuff and strange. And so the first one that I put out there actually isn't too strange. I'm going with the largest lead within the game, under 14.5 points. And I'm going with that, Greg, because I think it's going to be a close and competitive game. Clearly, we've seen some games where the Bengals go down by a couple scores, but I can't see them in this game on this stage going down by 2 touchdowns and a field goal or possibly 3 touchdowns. I'm getting minus 106 on the odds. So, you do the math there. You put a $100 wager down, that wins you about $94. So I really like that payoff, and I think this has a high probability of hitting.
Yeah, and I will just to add on that one, you look at both of these teams at their runs in the playoffs so far. The Bengals have played close games all the way throughout. The only game that wasn't close for the Rams was that first game against the Cardinals. So I like that bet first and foremost. The one I'm going to go with involves the first scoring play of the game. What's it going to be? I'm going to take a Bengals field goal. Evan McPherson has been icy cold in a good way in this postseason so far. 12 for 12. Those odds are plus 375. You put a couple of bucks on that, win a little bit of money, and yeah, I really like Evan McPherson to get that field goal. They got down early against Kansas City in that last round in the championship game. They stuck to it. They just want to put a couple of points on the board. So I can see them that first drive, if they win the coin toss and they maybe don't defer, they get the football first, or they stop the Rams going out there kicking a field goal, just putting themselves on the board.
All right, so the next one that I've got, a little bit better odds, a little bit of an opportunity for a bigger payout than the first bet that I gave you. Shortest touchdown scored in this game, Greg. I'm going over 1.5 yards. So I'm getting plus 128 there. That tells you that if you put down a $50 wager, which is what I have on it, that'll pay about $64. So a little bit better of a payout there. I just don't want the goal line stand. I don't want the short touchdowns that are going to the running backs, the fullbacks, the tight end dump passes. That's what I'm trying to stay away from. But I think there's great odds there at plus 128 and another high probability of hitting.
Look at the big spender, the high roller over here putting $50, throwing it around. No big deal.
It's a Super Bowl, Greg.
I know. It is. All right, my next one is going to be a wide receiver I'm going to be looking at. And you might say Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, those are the big players in this one. I feel like the guy that's really forgotten about in this wide receiving core for the Bengals, Tyler Boyd.
That's my dude.
7+ receptions in this one. I think that's plus 425. You put a couple of bucks on that, or if you're a high roller like Wells Guthrie, put a little bit more on that one. And that one might pay off very handsomely for you because you look back on what the Rams have faced this whole postseason. They haven't really faced a slot guy like Tyler Boyd. He's a target machine, a receptions monster generally. And I know Jalen Ramsey says he wants to go out and cover Jamar Chase. And if that's the case, the middle of the field right there for Tyler Boyd is going to be wide open, especially if CJ Uzomah doesn't play or is limited. That's going to be even more Tyler Boyd. I know the postseason run hasn't been great for Boyd, but look out for in this game. I think he could have a big one.
So one of the last ones that I have here, and I absolutely love the odds here. I can't believe that the potential payout is as high as it is, and it's whether or not there will be a score on the last play of the game. The odds that I'm getting, Greg, plus 1240. That is absolutely through the roof. That's an opportunity for a significant payday. And with Evan McPherson and how clutch he's been, if the Bengals are coming from behind, which a lot of people think that they're going to do in this game and end up winning, possibly covering that 4-point spread, I could see Evan McPherson kicking a field goal after a Zach Taylor timeout with 2 seconds left. He puts that thing through the uprights, and if you were to put down a $10 wager, which is what I have on it, that would cash $124. I might actually double up on this one and go a little bit heavier just because I love that payout. But that's the logic, and I'm going with yes, there will be a score on the last play of the game.
We always love the payouts, but it doesn't always come to fruition. Now, our last bet that we're going to talk to you about is a Super Bowl MVP. Generally, Wells has got some information on it. It's generally a quarterback, but there is some recent history to suggest then it might not be a quarterback. Tell us about that.
No doubt. Greg's right. 4 of the last 5 Super Bowl MVPs have been quarterback. I think it was Super Bowl 50. You had Julian Edelman as a wide receiver. And if it's not quarterback, it usually is wide receiver, and that's understandable. We're going a little bit off the board here. We're going to go with a defensive player. We're going to go with Aaron Donald, beast in that interior defensive line for the Rams. Very capable. He can get some sacks, some pass deflections. The guy's even intercepted some passes. I could see something crazy like that happening. The odds that I'm looking at right now, there's a gap here, plus 1,700 to plus 1,900. So you do the math on that one, and there's an opportunity to, win almost a couple $100 if you put down a $10 wager on that one. But Von Miller actually did it. He was the last defensive player to win a Super Bowl MVP, and he's actually playing in this game for the Rams. You also had a guy from the Seahawks a couple years before that do it. So that's 2 defensive MVPs in the Super Bowl within a 3-year span. It's very possible, and once again, I'm looking for the odds that pay because it's a Super Bowl and we want to end up, not down.
It's easy to play those odds, and of course, easy to see Aaron Donald wrecking a football game. He's the best defensive player in the league. He can easily wreck a game against that subpar Bengals defensive line, or offensive line, I should say. Greg Larnerd, Wells Guthrie, Super Bowl 56 coming your way on Sunday. Put those bets in. Have some fun. Be responsible, of course. We'll see what happens. And may the betting gods be ever in your favor.